Good morning from Yami B TV. Wishing you all well today, sending you loads of love, and hoping your day is going to be the best it possibly can. The sun's out at the moment, well, this part of the country it is, and I'm hoping that it's the same for all of you down there. Following on from the A Factor, I'm overwhelmed with the feedback and comments that are coming through. I'm glad you all loved it. Loads of you could resonate with it. I know a lot of my followers and friends have been going through that kind of stuff on the out, or have been through that stuff and come through the other side, be it addiction, mental health. Mental health will always be an ongoing thing. But the questions are coming in. How could Ovi have had a 6-year sentence and ended up doing 19 years? Well, it's quite simple for the powers that be in there. Once they've got hold of you, you get a sentence of an indeterminate sentence, which has now been scrapped apparently, and you do that 6-year sentence, and when the time comes, you have to sit in front of a parole board. I've had the luck of legislation being changed at vital times, because if you anything violent, robbery is violent, but you have to sit in front of a board and they have to decide whether your risk can be managed in the community. And for albeit you fall out with someone in there, you protect yourself, you have a fight, you argue with staff, all these things are jotted down so that when the parole board hearing comes, these things can be brought up and they can be held against you. It's very rare that you get somebody that goes through all of their years without having some kind of negative entries from the institutions that we were residing in at that time. And it's not a real fair state of things, to do with the outside, because certain behaviours in there, you wouldn't be able to fall into that category outside, because you can avoid people, and then use your skills that you develop over them years where you're supposed to be rehabilitating, of how not to get yourself in trouble. But in there, it's too close, and the cat is there's nowhere to hide. One of those days it can go wrong for you, and yes, it can be held against you like it did for Ovi. So from going from the Cat A's back to hospital, because in that Cat A setting, they're saying, oh, he can't be managed here, he's got to go to hospital, but then he gets to hospital, and then they say he can be managed back in the system. But then Ovi will realise after years and years he can't trust the system because his cry for helps are going unheard of. Whether they're understaffed and they can't do, one person and individually for too many long periods of time. The one thing that you're not meant to lose is your empathy levels and your sympathy levels when working with vulnerable prisoners of all kinds, especially with the mental health side of things. Some feels like sometimes on the Rule 43s they get treated better than the normal prisoners on normal locations. When I say the Rule 43s, that's the protection wing, where sex offenders and those kind of people that run off, and they go over there. They seem to get more support over there than on normal population. But yep, the A Factor. There's going to be more of that coming soon. The guest with me and my nephew, Maniac and Ovi this time. Tony before that. Tony's getting ready to be coming back soon. I'll keep you posted on that. Just spoke to him this morning. He's on a break at the moment. But yeah, loads of stuff that's going to be highlighted on my channel, and all for the benefit of you lot, so you get the real insight into what really happens in those institutions, especially the high risk places. Also, I'd like to mention about Chopper Read. For weeks, months, years, I've been out 14 months now, and I wasn't watching anything videos wise. I don't watch. I don't really. I wasn't really watching other people's podcasts and things like that, because my brain wasn't, as you know, wasn't really together. With everything that's happened over that year. Well, thankful today that I'm back, and back on form, as like a lot of you are saying. But yeah, Chopper Read, I didn't look into it, and then finally I did, and then I find out that he was an institutional recidivist like me. What I mean when I say that by recidivism is that you feel more at home in an institutional setting. We already talked about not liking it outside, and wanting to be back inside, and then going in there, and then the build up to be real institutionalization is that it's a playground, and it was for him and it was for me. So I resonate with that and I relate to it. So I actually know what you all mean now, because the thoughts of going to prison, the consequences meant nothing to me. and I just wanted to run about all day like I was on the owl, and then to take the risk that I would take like I would outside with the crimes I used to commit. In there, you when you don't mind dying, I liken it to a kamikaze pilot, because when you feel like you've got nothing to lose or you don't really care about what happens to you, you become really, really seriously dangerous. Um, and there's that as well. But yep, that's about it for now. I'm going to be up in a short while, and yeah, my hay fever started. I can't even find my hands and feet, my feet and my fingers and hands today. Spinal condition, very, very serious. I overlook it sometimes, but yeah, maybe traveling today, maybe not. I'm going to keep you posted, and I'm going to be up soon. Sending you loads of love.